Our coverage of Big Ten Hockey Media Day continues as we head to East Lansing, checking with the head coach of the Michigan State Spartans, Tom Anastos. Tom, first and foremost, we appreciate the time.
Great to be with you.
Tom, you know me, and you know that I'm never going to start anywhere other than goaltending when that's actually a story. And for you guys, it's a big story as Jake Hildebrand, a mainstay for so long, moves on. How comfortable are you with Ed Minnie, and will there be a competition for that job between Ed and some of the other younger guys?
You know, I think it presents a lot of opportunity on our team this year. I think both for Ed in particular, who's a returning player. He's worked under Hildy for the last couple of years. I think he's made huge strides. He's going to be a much different type of goaltender than we've seen over the past 4 years, a big 6'5" guy, so it's going to be a little different. But we will have competition. Certainly Johnny Letherman's coming here, played in Chicago, the USHL last year, had a real good season. We expect him to compete and earn some time. So I think that things lay out where we could have a real good situation in goal with both of those guys competing for playing time.
One of the more impressive aspects of your team over the last couple of years has been the quality of leaderships from the seniors, from the veterans, whether it was Michael Ferrantino or others. And this year it's Joe Cox, a guy who we chatted with earlier this week. Really impressive both on and off the ice. What do you need from Joe, both scoring-wise this year and inside that locker room?
You know, I think we just need Joe Cox to be Joe Cox. His leadership qualities just pour out of him, and his teammates really have great respect for him. So he sets a tone every day. He is one of the most relentlessly hard workers I've ever been around. Mike Ferrantino was much the same way. His teammates respect him. I think he has a nice talent set to go with his work habits. So he sets a very high standard for our team. I think for Joe, I don't want him to try to take on more than he needs to take on. I think he just needs to set the tone. He needs to just play hard as he always does. And I think his play and productivity will take care of itself.
Late 2 seasons ago, it seemed like some of those seniors this year, those guys who are now veterans, started on the uptick, at least offensively. And last year it hit a bit of a rut in the road. What happened last year? How do you fix that and kind of get back to where this team was, at least from the offensive standpoint, late in the season the year prior?
You know, last year we really had a struggle keeping the puck out of our net, and I think it trickled down to really affect us offensively. It certainly affected our mindset as to how we were playing, and it certainly had an impact on our confidence level. So I think starting from new, having a bit of a chip on our shoulder, having a very productive off season for sure. There are a lot of question marks for a number of returning players to see where they can take their game. The good news is the off season was very productive. Our team is in as good a condition and frankly better condition, maybe the best condition since I've been here. We really like how guys tested back into school. Now it's a matter of putting the game together, building some confidence, and having some early season success and taking things at one step at a time. So, you know, like any team, you really count on your upper class to take big strides as they move up the ranks and set a tone for the new guys. We have a lot of new guys on our team, but we'll be looking for our upperclassmen, our juniors and seniors, to really make an impact on our team this year.
That conditioning, of course, needs to be paired with nutrition. Will there be more cooking competitions between the guys this year? It was one of my most enjoyable stories to watch on our network a year ago.
You know, that was a great event that we had, and our group on campus did an awesome job. It is something we're looking at doing at some point because I think our players really learned from the experience, and certainly it was a good team-building experience to bring everybody together. So given that we have so much newness and so many freshman players on our team, it is something we're looking at doing at some point this season.
Tom, one of the biggest pieces of news during the offseason, the addition of Notre Dame beginning next year to make this a 7-team league. What are your initial thoughts? I know you look at this probably still from 2 different perspectives, having been a conference commissioner yourself before taking over as the head coach in East Lansing.
Yeah, I think it's great for the Big Ten. Notre Dame will be a terrific addition to our league. I think naturally it fits from a geographic standpoint, from an institutional standpoint. Obviously, they bring forward a very competitive program as well. So a great add, I think, for the Big Ten, and it'll be good for our players, our teams, our fans, and Big Ten hockey in general.
Tom, do you feel comfortable with 7 for the immediate future? Does there need to be more expansion? And if so, how much does it have to rely on being the right fit as Notre Dame was?
Well, I think that's the most important part. I really think that when you get into a league dynamic, finding the right partners is really important. So I would put that paramount. That's the most important thing. Finding the right partners that have a similar mindset and can move forward together with the other existing members. So I don't think 8 is all that important. Certainly 7 or an odd number presents certain issues that you have to deal with, maybe from a scheduling perspective or whatever. But frankly, I think 6 works. But if we could ever get to 8, I think that would be terrific. But I think 7 is a terrific add, and I think we have to stay focused on finding the right fit.
We see the addition of Notre Dame next year. We see the addition of Tony Granato, longtime pro, back to his alma mater, taking over the head job at Wisconsin. What do you think Tony and that staff add immediately to the league?
Well, anytime, certainly experience for one, and certainly they have a great passion for Wisconsin, having all 3 of them had played there. And I think it will bring some renewed energy behind the program, like any change does at the top. So we're looking forward to their new staff coming into the league, and I'm looking forward to competing with them.
Tom, after speaking with Joe, it's quite obvious that you and your staff have a big emphasis not just on the athletic part of student athlete, but also on the academic part. What do you and the staff do in terms of your support and the resources provided for your players to excel in the classroom?
Well, I think, first of all, it starts in the recruitment process, identifying the types of kids that are committed to all the things that they do, whether it's playing hockey, whether it's going to school, or whether it's, in community outreach type activities, which our guys do a terrific job on our campus. Secondly, our school it's second to none when it comes to resources that go into academic support. Our Smith Center is just an unbelievable environment for our kids to get support and to excel and pursue their goals and dreams on the academic front. And thirdly, I think our staff is very interested in the success of our players academically. So we show lots of interest. We talk to them about school on a regular basis. It's not unusual to ask some of them to come and give us demonstrations or presentations that they're gearing up to make to one of their classes and so on. So we have a lot of interest in what the guys are doing, and we've been very successful in the classroom during the time that I've been here.
How much more personally invested are you, having gone through exactly what your guys are currently going through?
In terms of what?
In terms of the academics, and you did it as well.
Yeah, well, fortunately for them, they're way better students than I was back in the day. So, it's probably a more do as I say, not as I did type of approach to coaching.
Fair enough. Lastly, Tom, you mentioned some of the community outreach programs. Why, A, is that important? And B, are you surprised at all with how well the younger guys handle that? Because there is that one criticism out there, always by the older generation, that the younger generation doesn't understand how good they have it and sometimes doesn't give back.
It's something that's been in the culture here at Michigan State, and especially in the hockey program preceding my time here. And it's really passed from one class to the next. And guys really enjoy it. I think it's great for guys to participate in it, give back, get involved, be engaged in other things. And I certainly think it helps make our student athletes better people, more well-rounded people, and hopefully when they leave here, not just better hockey players, but also good community leaders, good husbands, good fathers, good teammates. And so we take a lot of pride in the time that's spent, and I give all the credit to our guys because they love to be on the forefront of it.
Michigan State head coach Tom Anastos. Tom, as always, great to catch up. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me.